How you see the presence of Chinese foreign minister in Islamabad, where his key engagement was sixth round of China-Pakistan strategic dialogue. Do you think this target or this objective is achievable in the days to come, regional development, peace and security?
Pakistan and China together are on one page to ensure that peace and stability, security prevails in our part of the world, in South Asia.
Will it be possible for Pakistan to maintain balance in its ties with China at the same time with Washington?
Pakistan has to pursue its relations with both these powers on the basis of bilateralism. Bilateralism carefully and what is in mutual interest. China is sort of a given, is indispensable, is replaceable. So it's a reality. So our relationship with the United States is not at the expense of China and vice versa. And it's not a zero-sum game. We look at these relationships from a win-win kind of perspective.
What assurances Afghans will be giving to Pakistan and to the Chinese that Chinese interest projects and CPEC-related projects in Pakistan would not be attacked by the Afghan terrorists who cross over from the border?
A common, concern as far as Afghanistan's soil is concerned is used for militancy in the region. Taliban regime will have to proactively cooperate with Pakistan and with China and with other regional countries to combat this menace. In this scenario, in this emerging scenario, it is logical for India to sort of pull back from its, this kind of clandestine activity and campaigns to destabilize Pakistan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Insight in V News English. At regional level, there are extraordinary geopolitical developments taking place. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi is on South Asian nations tour. Earlier, he visited India. Then he visited Afghanistan, where Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China trilateral dialogue took place. And finally, Chinese Foreign Minister is in Islamabad. The main engagement in Islamabad was China-Pakistan sixth round of strategic dialogue. So during strategic dialogue, all aspects of bilateral relations, bilateral cooperation in different fields were reviewed. Chinese Foreign Minister, during his stay in Islamabad, also called on Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and held meeting with President Asif Ali Zardari. So a short statement was issued after China-Pakistan sixth round of strategic dialogue, in which both ministers agreed that Pakistan-China friendship is significant for regional development, peace and security. So pledges have been made on early initiation of CPEC-2. More focus by China and Pakistan is on CPEC-2. Later this month, Prime Minister of Pakistan will also be traveling to China, where he will attend Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in Tianjin, where Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also invited. In addition to attending this SCO summit, Prime Minister of Pakistan will also attend on 3rd of September Grand Military Parade in Beijing and will also hold bilateral meetings with Chinese leadership. So a lot of developments are taking place between Pakistan and China. So to discuss this all and the strategic nature of Pakistan-China relations and cooperation and this regional peace and development and Chinese growing interest in Afghanistan. To discuss this all, we are fortunate to have with us Pakistan's former ambassador to China, Mr. Masood Khalid. Masood Khalid served a quite long time as Pakistan's envoy in Beijing. where he personally supervised the early days of CPEC, and credit goes to him for finalizing this historic China-Pakistan Economic Corridor documents, which finally turned into an historic agreement between Pakistan and China. Very warm welcome, Ambassador Masood Khalid Sahab, in our program.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So, how you see the presence of Chinese Foreign Minister in Islamabad, where his key engagement was sixth round of China-Pakistan strategic dialogue. So, the main pledge which have been made, and that has been mentioned in a statement issued by Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that China-Pakistan friendship is significant for regional development, peace, and security. So, keeping in view a lot of geopolitical developments in the region, do you think this target or this objective is achievable in the days to come? Regional development, peace, and security.
Well, first of all, Foreign Minister Wang Yi is visiting after 3 years, I think. And this was in the context of sixth round of strategic dialogue, which is held at the level of foreign ministers between the two countries. We have other mechanisms also, but this is one of the highest forum for bilateral cooperation and
between
exchanges.
Ministers, exactly.
That's right. That's right. Now, I think the visit is important in three, sides, three dimensions. Number one, bilateral dimension. Number two, multilateral dimension. And number three, of course, it is important in the regional context. As you rightly pointed out, Mateen Saab, Foreign Minister first went to Delhi, then Kabul, and now he is in Islamabad. Now, of course, if you look at the broader geopolitical picture, there has been, a phase of uneasiness and tension in relations between India and China. So his visit to Delhi was meant to sort of bring some normalcy in relationship. And now that China is hosting the SCO summit, where Prime Minister Modi is also going, so I think it was kind of a prelude to prepare the ground for that summit, and also to resolve or to discuss rather the resolution of the border dispute between the two countries. This was the broader context. Now in Kabul, of course, Foreign Minister was there, and it was a trilateral. He also met bilaterally with the Afghan Foreign Minister, and our Foreign Minister also met his counterpart. What I'm trying to say is that China's role is quite constructive and positive in promoting reconciliation and stability in Afghanistan. First of all, China has tried to help iron out differences between Pakistan and Afghanistan on account of, our genuine concerns on terrorism emanating from the Afghan soil. And then, of course, China has its own interest in peace and stability in Afghanistan, economic development of Afghanistan. So it's very important that three countries, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China, were on the same table and sort of discussing the prospects of, mutual cooperation and regional cooperation. Now, in Pakistan, I think we as practitioners of diplomacy, give a lot of importance to the words which emanate from the joint statements and the press releases. You alluded to the press release which was issued after the dialogue. Now, two sentences are very, important. It says that the relationship is significant for peace and stability of the region, and the relationship is indispensable for progress and prosperity of two countries. Now, you see, if you elaborate, you'll find that Pakistan and China together are on one page to ensure that peace and stability, security prevails in our part of the world, in South Asia. And this is very important in the context of China-India tensions and India-Pakistan tensions after the May episode. And then this sentence, that relationship is indispensable for the progress and prosperity of two countries.
True.
It shows both sides' commitment and the vision for economic cooperation to take forward, China-Pakistan economic corridor and broaden their trade relations. So it's all encompassing so many few words. The statement speaks about the strength and the substance of Pakistan-China relations. I think that when we meet with our Chinese friends, I'm sure during this round also, the entire gamut of bilateral cooperation, bilateral relations, regional and global developments review takes place. So I'm sure this happened. That happened this time also, and there have been sensitive developments. Pakistan and India went into a 4-day war, which created a new paradigm, kind of a new sort of perspective on peace and security in South Asia. And China's help during that conflict to Pakistan as a trusted partner also underscored the importance and the significance of China as an actor in South Asian security and its development. So I think it was important. And the message which came out was from China was that China wants peace and stability in South Asia for development and is prepared to contribute to South Asia's development. Now, of course, the onus here, if you analyze three main actors in this relationship, conflictual relationship, or triangular relationship rather, than China, India, and Pakistan.
True.
The onus for peace and stability lies with India. Because India has a tiff with China. India has played, the role of a counterweight to contain China. Okay? Now, India has a problem with Pakistan. India is not prepared to solve its issues with Pakistan, including the Kashmir dispute. So the problem is basically the impediment in peace and security in South Asia is India. And the message from China was that China is prepared to improve relations with India.
Excellency, you very rightly pointed out that, of course, China is also trying to reconcile, try to patch up its, of course, ties and relationship with India, keeping in view, as you mentioned, past tense relationship. But significant aspect of this that West, particularly United States of America, is monitoring these old developments. Pakistan in the recent past had developed excellent bilateral relations with Washington. Washington's approach toward China is totally different. That need not to be elaborated. So at a time this relationship is growing, CPAC2 will be initiated. Prime Minister of Pakistan will be discussing this, India factor, then Afghanistan. But our concern is mainly, will it be possible for Pakistan to maintain balance in its ties with China at the same time with Washington?
I think China and United States relationships, they have different trajectories. We have an important relationship with the United States for a variety of factors, and we have an entirely different sort of relationship with China. Now, both are big powers. The United States is a sole superpower. The United States has its own interest in South Asia, and China has its own interest in South Asia. Now, Pakistan has to pursue its relations with both these powers on the basis of bilateralism. Bilateralism carefully and what is in mutual interest. I mean, of course, new ground has been broken in relationship with the United States. New possibilities are emerging. China will not have objection to Pakistan developing relations, for example, in the mineral sector, in oil and gas, excavation of our, hydrocarbon resources. So China, in fact, wants peace and stability, and also China's advises that, friendly advises that Pakistan should endeavor to maintain good relationships with its neighbors, with major powers. So I don't think, and frankly, Pakistan has maintained quite, I must say, an equilibrium all along in its relationship with United States as well as China. And geopolitical picture is changing so rapidly and so fast that you will see that United States will also feel convinced that Pakistan's relationship with China is sort of a given, is indispensable, is replaceable. So it's a reality, and Pakistan will try to, at the same time, develop the United States. So that contradiction is not going to become a major source of conflict, in my view. I think Pakistan can walk well. People say tightrope, but I think from wherever opportunities arise, we'll go for it, because if, as President Trump says, maybe one day Pakistan will have so much oil that it can export to its neighbors. So why not? If we get oil exploration is very, very expensive proposition. So if we get the technical assistance, technical help, financial help from the United States to unearth our resources, hydrocarbon, why not? So I think, and that will bring prosperity. That also is in line with China's vision and Chinese perspective of this region integrating economically. So I don't find much of a contradiction there. Yes, of course, every country follows its national interest, whether it is Pakistan, whether it's United States, and every country has its red lines. So our relationship with the United States is not at the expense of China and vice versa. And it's not a zero-sum game. We look at these relationships from a win-win kind of, perspective.
Ambassador Masood Khalid Saab, situation is, of course, not hidden. I mean, security situation. So wherever Chinese projects are, we have seen over the last many years these projects and Chinese engineers were attacked. But more concern is about rising attacks on different places in Balochistan. And Balochistan is a major beneficiary of China-Pakistan economic corridor. A lot of projects are over there. So what do you think? What assurances Afghans will be giving to Pakistan and to the Chinese that Chinese interest projects and CPEC-related projects in Pakistan would not be attacked by the Afghan terrorists who cross over from the border and then attack such places? Over the last many days, there have been quite surge in such attacks in Balochistan. If you remember last week, according to ICPR, in 48 hours in the last week, more than 50 terrorists were neutralized. So the question is security concern. Taliban, Afghan Taliban in Kabul, if, as you mentioned, if they want peace, stability, and development connectivity, they will have to ensure that their territory is not used for terrorism against other countries. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The presence of militant groups and terrorist groups in Afghanistan and any terrorism emanating from them is a source of serious concern, a threat to the sovereignty and territorial integrity of not only Pakistan, also a threat for China and other regional countries. So we have a common, concern as far as Afghanistan's soil is concerned, is used for militancy in the region. So I think number one, Afghan regime, Taliban regime will have to proactively cooperate with Pakistan and with China and with other regional countries to combat this menace and to ensure that their soil is not used against us. Number one. Assurances have been given, even yesterday in the trilateral, assurances were given. But I'm sure China would be very happy to help the Taliban regime technically,
and they're extending CPEC as well, exactly.
Yes. So I think great responsibility lies on the Taliban regime. Number two, they have to ensure, a seamless cooperation on this matter with China, with Pakistan, and we will help the Taliban regime in a synergetic way. Number one. Number two, India has been orchestrating this trouble inside Balochistan, and Pakistan has, provided evidence to this effect through its proxies. Now that has to stop. If India wants peace and security, and now the geopolitical picture is changing. Till yesterday, India was, a favorite of the American administration.
Exactly.
Now India is going through its what is called the Canada movement.
Wow.
And now the table is turned. As of now, the situation is very much against India's interests and its projected role in the Indian Ocean, South Asia as a net security provider, etc. So it's a great setback for Indian foreign policy. So that is why you see that India is now trying to reach out to China. India is trying to reinforce its contacts with Russia. Indian foreign minister is in Moscow today. So my point is, in this scenario, in this emerging scenario, it is logical for India to sort of pull back from its, this kind of clandestine activity and campaigns to destabilize Pakistan and to revisit its Pakistan policy. And this is the message, I'm sure, which China has given to New Delhi. And Pakistan also seeks dialogue with India to resolve its. Pakistan does not want conflict. The Pakistan wants to focus on its economic development, connectivity, and CPAC is a platform which we are trying to, take forward and introduce to Afghanistan. So it is in Afghanistan's interest also. How will their regime is completely, sort of isolated now, and especially the Western world is still not prepared to look favorably at Taliban regime. And if they want, and almost there is a serious problem of nutrition there, food shortages, and refugees going back from Iran and Pakistan. So how these problems are going to be coped with? So I think it is in the interest of Afghanistan, if they need development, if they need Chinese investments, if they need regional cooperation, regional integration, that they take drastic measures against these militant outfits. More of the same may not work, because Pakistan will not tolerate, this incessant attacks on its border and to destabilize Balochistan, which is crucial for, Pakistan's security and for CPAC.
So important aspect is, as you have seen, that China and India are trying to reconcile. They are trying to improve their relationship, trying to remove misunderstandings. Keeping in with these all things, definitely, that is called China's neighborhood, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India. At any stage in the days to come or in the months to come, China can mediate between Pakistan and India, because previously we have seen this ceasefire credit was taken by American President Donald Trump, but India have been denying this all. So India didn't accept any UN intervention, not American intervention. So finally, as you said, that New Delhi wanted to get closer to Beijing. So in that context, then New Delhi also then need to improve its ties with Islamabad. So with the Beijing's intervention or mediation in the future is possible?
You see, the problem is that India does not want any third party's involvement. This is the policy so far. But this policy is losing its, traction, and it is becoming counterproductive. Because India has to decide. That is why I said that India has to revisit Pakistan's policy. It cannot be more of the same. Given, for example, if this deterioration in relations between the United States and India continues with 50% tariffs and other restrictions, and unraveling of Indo-US. I mean, I'm just drawing a scenario. If that happens, if this continues to happen, then in that scenario, what bargaining chip India has? Because still there is mistrust between China and India on a number of issues. Russia is already embroiled in its own conflict in Ukraine.
Exactly.
So for Russia, yes, India is a big market, but at the same time, Russia is not in a position to sort of play the role of the other major actors like China in this region. China is a big, and China wants peace. China wants this kind of reconciliation. China has been counseling, advising that India and Pakistan should resolve their disputes bilaterally, peacefully. This is a very rational approach. So I think rationality in foreign policy is needed now. And that is why I said that India needs to revisit Pakistan's policy, and more that we will not talk, we will not want mediation, we don't want UN to intervene. How can that work? That means between two nuclear powers, and we saw in May this year, both the countries were on the brink of a serious outbreak of a conflict, which could have spiraled out of control, because you never know. So that risk factor has to be factored in. So I think we cannot afford another conflict, because if conflict happens this time, it will be much more severe, and consequences can be, unpredictable. So I think it is rational. A reasonable approach demands that Prime Minister Modi reviews his foreign policy, his attitude, his approach towards Pakistan, and come to the negotiating table. Like this kind of action, like, we will suspend the Indus Waters Treaty. I think there should be no doubt that if that comes to, if suspension means that Pakistan's water is being blocked, Pakistan will retaliate, and Pakistan has the right. It's under the UN Charter is self-defense. So I think these kind of risks cannot be taken in South Asia. That is what China is advising, and I hope the other major powers, Western powers, particularly United States, will also be more proactive in sort of counseling India to start some kind of dialogue with Pakistan. We had composite dialogue. We were discussing with India all issues, and I think there can be a consideration to restart that format again.
Exactly. So China would definitely be happy if ties between New Delhi and Islamabad gets improved. As you suggested, that Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, need to revisit its foreign policy towards Pakistan. Another important, lastly, we have 3 minutes only. So during meeting between President Asif Ali Zardari and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, President Zardari reminded him that in the past, in the first tenure when he was president, he visited China more than 14 times just to understand Chinese model of developing. So Pakistani leadership, the previous government, then before PDM government, there was PTI government. Almost in every successive government, there have been visits to China. While Pakistan has been unable to benefit Chinese model of development in real sense, we haven't seen that type of development despite a lot of cooperation, economics, agriculture. Currently, agriculture graduates are being
sent. I agree.
Please, your thoughts.
I agree with you.
So despite these all things and visits and things could have been visible in Pakistan.
I agree with you that we could have learned a lot from China. And China was some years back, is still called a developing country. But if you say go back 10 years or 12 years or 15 years ago, China was not that developed. And China still is. China at that time was prepared to share its knowledge and expertise with Pakistan. And even now it's prepared. The point is that past is past. I think past is past. We should learn from our mistakes. And in my view, CPAC is now available as a platform, as a vehicle for Pakistani, decision makers, policy makers, Pakistani bureaucracy, Pakistani business community. And because CPAC its platter has been expanded now, many new areas of cooperation have been added. So in all these fields, China has an upper hand. We can learn from China. So I think right now, forget about the past, but we can learn from our mistakes. And I think CPAC is that platform, that vehicle, which we should optimally utilize to not only develop Pakistan, but also, develop our human skill, capacity building. That's very, very important. Now, one point I wanted to, going back to the previous discussion which we were having, I want to say one thing, that amazingly in entire South Asia, except India, all South Asian countries look to China to play her role in their development through projects, through economic assistance, project assistance.
Maldives,
yes, all countries.
Malaysia.
All
you
countries.
served in Malaysia.
But because they are bullied by India, only Pakistan stands up to India. So they are weak. But all of them want. India did not allow China to become, a member of SAARC. It was only given as observer status. Now SAARC is dysfunctional.
Ambassador Masood Khalid, please, you were talking about the benefits that Pakistan could take, or Pakistan could learn from Chinese model of development. Please complete your argument.
Yes, I was saying that, past is past. If we made mistakes, that's fine. We cannot undo it. But we should learn from our mistakes. And I think right now, CPAC is such a platform and a vehicle for Pakistan from which we can, derive a lot of benefit in terms of learning from Chinese practices, in be it agriculture, IT, science and technology, etc., rural development, all these areas. So I think I'm very clear on that, and it's a great window of opportunity for Pakistan. And once CPAC succeeds, and it should, because both these states, the leadership of both countries, both governments, have declared it to be a flagship project of BRI, number one. Number two, they have great stakes in its success. So once it succeeds, you will see it will have a trickle-down effect on the development of all provinces in Pakistan, and also it will promote Pakistan's regional connectivity, because other countries will also come in and explore Pakistan's market. So I think it's a potential bonanza for Pakistan. And we have seen, despite problems and challenges, we have seen a good number of projects which were completed. So in the next phase, I think we need to really synergize and strategize very carefully how in the next 10 years we will use CPAC for transformation of Pakistan. Now, another thought which I think should not be left unsaid is, Mr. Mateen, that I want to raise a question. India has made SAARC dysfunctional. Its other initiatives like BIMSTEC have not made much headway. It opposes BRI, it opposes CPAC. If the American market saturates for India, then where will it go? It already has a huge trade deficit with China, right?
Exactly.
And it's not 100% perfect relationship between them yet. Russia, they have a relationship, important relationship. So if India wants to reach out to Central Asia, regional cooperation, it has to seek peace with Pakistan. You cannot have these ambitions to be a regional, regional power of some reckoning, and, a third, fourth largest economy or third largest economy of the world, and have a neighborhood which is volatile, where you are engaged in conflicts and perpetual hostilities with your neighbors.
And again,
So
not
I think
regretting on anything, not accepting anything, not regretting
yes,
anything. Exactly.
it's a very Hindutva-led
Ideology.
parochial narrow approach, which is narrow-mindedness, which should be shed away now, because if there is peace in South Asia, security in South Asia, you see the level of underdevelopment, poverty in our region. And we have to work together. China has emerged as the second largest economy. China has the economic and financial muscle to really inject capital here, technology here, to help South Asia change its current, status as a backward region. Only 5% of trade is among South Asian countries. And look at ASEAN, where ASEAN is going. So these are the pitfalls and shortcomings, I think, which should receive the attention of the leadership there. So one can say that all in all, as far as Pakistan and China are concerned, our relationship is, you see, it is almost 75 years of relationship. And it has gone ahead. There have been challenges, there have been pressures in the past, but both countries have decided firmly that their relationship is unbreakable. This is what was said today. It is unbreakable. Foreign Minister Wagi said that he went to India, he went to Kabul, and then he has come to Islamabad, the most important country, most important capital. These were his words in the press conference today. So that shows the type of, importance which China attaches to its relationship with Pakistan. Pakistan attaches, as a cornerstone its foreign policy. So our destinies are linked, and this was foreseen by our founding fathers, by Chairman Mao Zedong on their side, and our leadership here. Pakistan was the first Muslim country to recognize China. So that way, this relationship is inseparable. And whatever the challenges, and you alluded to them, the pressures, they will come. We'll face them, no problem, because we have to be clear in our mind that we need we need to make now on the lost time in terms of our socioeconomic development. Our population is growing. We have a lot of challenges, and we have to overcome these challenges with the help of trusted friends like China.
Lastly, I would like to seek your comment. Chinese investor. Yesterday, there was a meeting by Chinese business group with Prime Minister of Pakistan. So there are a number of Chinese groups still coming to Pakistan and exploring opportunities for investment, but there are still hurdles in investment. Other than security, there are a number of other issues Chinese investors are facing.
Absolutely.
And every day we do read a statement from Pakistani Prime Minister office that these hurdles will be removed. So why it is so? Why there are hurdles?
You see, despite these problems and hazards in Pakistan's market, Chinese are interested in our market. They see the potential. And look at this, the investment company, the Chinese company Challenge, which has committed an investment of more than $100 million in the textile sector. So that shows their interest. They are still willing to come in. Now, what you mentioned, the problems here they face, that is our job. We have to, develop a true one window operation for foreign investors, be they Chinese, be the others. And that is where I think we are lagging behind. And in my view, I think that government is doing, there have been some reforms, but I think we need to speed up these reforms, and the potential is great. We are still, there. We can attract Chinese investment. We can have joint ventures, special economic zones. They have been lagging behind. At least we should operationalize one or two special economic zones. For the last 9-10 years, we have not been able to do it. So these are deficiencies at our end, which we have to overcome, so that there is confidence and trust which develops in Chinese business community, and the potential is great because Pakistani market gives profit to foreign entrepreneurs. So, and geography, and a number of factors which are positive for Pakistan. Why not cash on them, capitalize on them? And here is a friend who is not only interested in Pakistan, they are interested in Afghanistan. They are developing economic linkages with Central Asia, Eurasian region. Why Pakistan should be left out, which has such a deep relationship with China? So I think much of the work is to be done at our end. I agree with you. And I think we should, this government is, I think, focusing on it because the CPEC was started during their tenure last time.
Exactly.
So they are aware of the challenges, they are aware of the opportunities. So I'm sure they will give due attention to whatever deficiencies exist in our system. And it should be given serious consideration and serious attention.
Thank you so much, former Pakistan's ambassador to China, Ambassador Masood Khalid, for in detail elaborating different dimensions and aspects of Pakistan-China relation and how in real sense or how truly Pakistan can benefit from Chinese model of development progress. And the takeaway of our conversation is that everything is dependent on peace and security. India need to revisit its foreign policy towards Pakistan, need to dialogue if it wish to reach out to other markets in the region. Thank you so much, Ambassador Masood Khalid Saab, once again for sparing time despite your busy schedule. And dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.